welcome everybody. PT Pipe Bomb. Jim, what's going on?
What is going on with you, dude?
Little bit of technical issues, but I'm hoping that we got them fixed.
Oh, well, let's hope.
So we are here on March 16th, 3/16, Stone Cold Steve Austin Day.
Yes, it is.
And WWE has been blowing up all of Austin's stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. I put some pretty interesting posts up.
Any deals on WWEshop.com?
I don't know. Haven't checked, but I'm not throwing them the shameless plug.
No.
They've already burned up enough of my money.
This is true.
Okay, so we start off with Raw. We are a little under 3 weeks to WrestleMania, April 2nd, which I have to say, the more important thing before WrestleMania week is my birthday is that week.
Nice.
Yes. So WrestleMania takes a backseat to my 40th birthday. They can go fuck themselves. We start off with the theory of WrestleMania relativity.
Given by Mr. Heyman himself.
Yes. But you notice how Lesnar never talks.
No, because he's got Heyman to do the talking for him. Why would he have to talk?
I think he's just a blithering buffoon.
I mean, have you heard Lesnar speak?
Yeah, I have, but it's entertaining.
He sounds like a bitch.
He needs a speaking part.
Oh.
So, it's a very good promo. They're just blowing up probably the match that's going to be about 8 minutes long.
At least.
Segment's going to be 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
You can enjoy that.
No.
The end of the promo is obviously the theory of WrestleMania relativity. F5 equals Lesnar goes up and Goldberg goes down.
Yeah, so he says.
Well, what is Goldberg going down on? Because that just makes no sense.
I don't know. Down in the match, he's going to lose.
I'm sorry, again, this part-time championship is got to stop.
I don't know, enough already.
Next segment is Charlotte pretty much going off on Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
That's the shot promo before the match, hoping that Dana Brooke will injure Sasha Banks in her match.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Sasha Banks beats Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
Charlotte comes in to demean her even more. Brooke then snaps and beats the shit out of Charlotte.
Well, it's about fucking time.
But again, we've seen shades of this in the past, and it was a big fucking rollover. They just kayfabed it, or they twisted it so that somehow Dana Brooke was still up Charlotte's ass.
Wow. Lesbian.
This time, though, she just, in a backstage promo, says to Charlotte, playtime's over. Next is the Cruiserweights. Kendrick and Tozawa.
Oh.
Was supposed to be somehow of a singles match.
Right.
Which then ended up turning into a tag match. Tozawa and TJ Perkins.
Yeah.
And then Kendrick's partner ends up becoming Tony Nese. At this point, I don't know what they're really doing storyline with these four.
I don't know.
TJP is getting old.
Yeah.
In my perspective, in which this is a spoiler for Impact Wrestling later on tonight. Suicide is making his return back to Impact.
Very nice. Very nice.
Match ends. TJP ends up rolling up. Let's see. Hold on here. Lost my note. Nese wins the match for them.
Okay.
He rolls up TJP, and that's the win. And the heel usage of tights is just amazing.
Of course. In the now crowned Who the Fuck Are You division, not Cruiserweight division, it's the Who the Fuck Are You division.
Because they've totally killed off movesets and attitude of Cruiserweights.
Of course. It's not the way it was.
I mean, if it was Rey Mysterio, it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
Or any of the old WCW Cruiserweights would be awesome.
Yeah, well, That would actually be a good and logical idea.
Well, now we move on to the mic people. The people that are awesome on the mic, they don't have to change anything.
And they are?
Kevin Owens.
Ah, fat bastard.
I like Kevin Owens. I've liked Kevin Owens since he was in Ring of Honor.
As Kevin Steen?
Yes, Kevin Steen.
That was his name.
Shoots a really great promo for their upcoming match with Jericho at WrestleMania for his U.S. title. Mm-hmm. And it's hilarious. He comes out with the WrestleMania 2 t-shirt.
Oh, the KO Mania 2?
And it says KO Mania 2.
That was cool.
That's phenomenal.
I gotta say, that was really cool.
Then shoots a promo. Jericho comes out on stage, and then Samoa Joe interjects himself in that.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn then comes in for that. They have some type of tag match. Obviously, Joe and Owens win, and then they knock the snot out of Jericho. We have a really great segment that we run every week, and this episode deserves 2.
Right.
Now, they have a number 1 contenders match for the Raw Tag Team titles.
Right.
It's between Sheamus and Cesaro going against Enzo and Cass for the number 1 contendership.
Okay.
Now, during the match, it ends up being a double disqualification because we have an interjection from Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah.
This, however, qualifies for
It's the turd of the week.
Gallows and Anderson. It's a double.
It's the turd of the week.
Gallows and Anderson get a turd of the week for now making their match a triple threat at WrestleMania.
Bastards.
Now, as highly respected as they are from New Japan, and I have to say it, great character change over the time for Anderson.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, Gallows.
Gallows.
From Festus all the way up.
And he was with CM Punk in Straight Edge Society.
Yes. What kind of turds make their match even worse than what it is now?
Them.
Well, that's why they got the turd of the week for that.
They got the Raw turd of the week.
And because they're a tag team, they got it twice.
Ha. Good one.
It just doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense that you make your match even worse, knowing the fact you're not part of the decision to lose the match.
Idiots.
I mean, it's triple threat. Anything goes. No DQ. Nothing.
Nice.
We then move on to one of the shockers of the night.
Okay.
The former reigning turd of the week, Roman Reigns, shoots his promo about Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then the shock of the world happens on Raw. A high point, I'd have to say. And you were pretty shocked with it as well.
Absolutely.
Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania.
The icon. The main event.
He's not passing no torch to Reigns, obviously.
Absolutely not.
I think if he did, he probably would have been shot.
I mean, I'll tell you honestly, if Shawn Michaels were to pass the torch to Roman Reigns, he would forever be on my shit list.
I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Because every former turd of the week gets shit on.
Absolutely.
Michaels said in the promo, Undertaker's not going to be beaten the way you think it is. And Reigns turns around and says, but he retired you, so why should I listen to you?
And I think he said, he's the man who retired you, and I'm going to be the man who's going to retire him. Wow. Some ballsy words.
Well, he's trying to not become the turd of the week again.
Nope.
Because he was the turd of the week last time.
Yes, reigning and defending.
Well, we also missed a week, so he's carrying it over for 2 weeks.
Yes, that was my fault. We didn't do anything last week. I was severely under the weather. It really sucked.
But the ending to that whole promo.
Yeah.
Strowman comes and runs him over.
Oh, yeah.
And there's Reigns laying between the fans and the stage in a big heap. And Strowman is eyeing down Michaels, but kind of saying thank you in a way.
Yeah.
I guess for the distraction.
Seemed that way.
So the turd of the week just pretty much got swept into the turd bowl.
Good.
And I'm liking that. I really am liking that fact that they're trying to, again, keep that Strowman Reigns thing going.
I like it.
Austin Aries
My boy.
makes his Raw debut finally.
It's about time.
Officially of 205 Live.
Good.
In the Cruiserweight division.
Mm.
He went against Daivari. Not the good Daivari. Not the one that we both know. This shittier, watered-down version of Daivari.
Oh, okay.
Clinic match. He then entered himself into the Fatal 5-Way for the #1 contendership for Neville's title.
Yeah.
You have comments on Aries, don't you?
Like I said before, it's about time he's making his debut. I've been a fan of Austin Aries since he was with Impact Wrestling, and wasn't he in?
He was also in Ring of Honor for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's why no one really knows he was there. But I mean, Austin Aries versus Neville, you know that's going to be a great match. I cannot fucking wait for it.
Next promo. These are another reigning bunch of turds of the week. Apparently New Day has their own talk show now. Called
Are you serious?
New Day Talks.
New Day Talks?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like the Talking Smack thing or the After Raw show, but it's like a 5-minute segment with them interviewing everybody because they are the hosts of WrestleMania.
That sounds like it's gonna suck shit.
So they're doing the promo with Big Show for the new Jetsons movie that they did, the animated movie.
Cool.
Which was the only reason why the talk show segment for them worked. Because it's got the Big Show in it. And it's for the Jetsons, classic all-time cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, Titus O'Neil interjects him into this conversation. And during the whole thing, Big Show announces that he's going for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Where else were they going to put him? The match with him and Shaq got shot down.
Titus O'Neil is pushing this stupid Titus brand bullshit and saying that the cartoon would be better if he was in it.
Oh, wow.
No, it wouldn't.
Nope.
Because Titus O'Neil is just a big spot monkey. So they ended up having a match, and Big Show just beats the shit out of him. Pretty much says farewell to the Joe Louis Arena, where he won some of his world titles.
Right.
And it's sad to hear that the arena's going.
Yeah.
But it was a very sensitive and emotional moment for the Big Show to wrestle a last match there.
Absolutely.
Now here's where some of the twists come.
Ooh, twists.
Nia Jax.
Ooh, scary.
Obviously a relative of the Rock family, the Samoans. I think he's his niece.
Something like that, yeah.
She has a match, non-championship match, with Bayley.
Yeah.
Nia Jax just doesn't give a shit about anything.
Nope.
She disobeyed the 5 count, knocked the snout out of Bayley. At the end, you see Bayley laying on the matting outside of the ring after being thrown into the barricade.
Just left her in a heap.
And Nia Jax just walked out like it was nothing.
Like a boss.
Yes. Not Sasha Banks' boss, but Jack's boss.
Yep.
So now, here we go to, again, a controversial segment. This ends out Raw, and I would have thought that this would have ended differently. I preferably would have liked to see it end up differently.
Yeah.
The segment starts with both Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley in the ring. A segment that I didn't see the beginning of the show. Apparently, a WWE Raw superstar was supposed to be fired by Night's End. Mick Foley's decision, however, was Stephanie McMahon, or Stephanie McMahon Helmsley, or however she fucking has her name, because she's still married to Triple H.
Right.
That she should be fired.
That was ballsy and interesting, all wrapped in one. It's really nice.
But the writers, again, have no clue whether Steph should be heel or she should be face. It changes every week. Apparently, this week they decided heel. A little bit of arguing back and forth. Triple H comes out, pretty much demeans Foley. They've always had a long, ongoing controversy and rivalry throughout the years.
Absolutely. One of the best.
Hell in a Cell was probably one of the best I've seen.
What about Street Fight, Royal Rumble 2000?
It was on point.
Great match.
It was on point. Their rivalry alone was just nuts.
It was awesome, though.
However, the great thing about this is that instead of demoting him and demeaning him, I should say, to newer levels, Foley fights back. It was the low and the high return of Mr. Sacco.
Yes.
Mr. Sacco reappears, and they end up giving him Mandible Claw to Triple H. Crowd was ripping this one. They were actually excited that it happened.
They were really into it for a change.
Unfortunately, Stephanie sticks her hands where it don't belong in Foley's crotch. Low blows him. Triple H starts beating on him a little bit, to only hear Seth Rollins' music play in the background, and him kind of crutch his way down the aisle.
Yeah. Epic.
And says, hey, I can walk without this, and throws it to the side. And then the fight begins. It's Rollins, it's Triple H. Rollins seems to get the upper hand.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and this is where I kind of get a little confused. Where did the crutch come from?
His doctor.
But the crutch was outside of the ring. Was Triple H outside of the ring at all? Or did Stephanie give him the crutch?
You mean when Triple H used the crutch?
Yes.
Rollins kicked Triple H out of the ring, and he happened to land outside the ring where the crutch was laying. So he took it and used it on Rollins.
And then a reverse figure 4.
Ooh, that was fucking sick.
First off, nobody uses that.
Nobody.
Like, I don't think I've even seen that back to the WCW days.
No.
And Flair was the master of the figure 4.
Yep.
See, this is where I didn't agree with the end, because they should have just left it where Rollins was the prevalent one out of this whole thing, and then be able to drag the storyline on a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because now Rollins is left laying, like pretty much crippled, trying to walk back to the ring.
Yeah.
And they left him laying.
No, they definitely should have done it the way Triple H always does, or always has done it when he was a heel. Tuck his tail, run to the top of the ramp with a microphone in his hand, turn back around and give Rollins his whole, you want me at WrestleMania, you got it type of fucking shit.
And then just done a lot of promo shit after that, which probably would have been good.
That would have worked.
But to leave Rollins laying doesn't work for me.
No.
So, after Raw went off the air, they had another thing between Reigns and Strowman. It was bullshit. They fought, no referee. It wasn't really even a match. It was like, I'm just going to come down and knock the snot out of you.
Right.
And then, you know, the former reigning and defending Turd of the Week was, you know, claimed the victor between this little street brawl that the two of them had. Outside of that, Raw, rating-wise, 6.8.
I definitely would have to agree with that. That sounds just about right.
It did have some high points, but not enough to make the episode worthwhile.
No.
The action could have been a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So now we move to SmackDown.
Yeah.
And they are really pushing the storyline for AJ. I'm actually happy that they're making this more than a one-shot deal for him.
Yeah.
AJ's out in the ring shooting a promo that he's been fucked over so many times.
Oh, yeah.
Loses to Cena at Rumble. Then has a triple threat match for the WWE title.
Yeah.
Then he gets screwed for being put in Elimination Chamber. Screwed by Orton for the number one contender spot, even though they had the controversy with Harper. And he won that. Rightfully, he was the number one contender.
Rightfully.
Because Orton forfeited it.
Mm-hmm.
He screams out more that it was bullshit that he lost to Orton the week before. So now he wants to confront Shane McMahon, who unfortunately is not in the building at the time of this promo.
Yeah.
So he goes all pissed off and is waiting for Shane back in the parking lot. Now we go back to the ring. What I believe is the strongest part of the women's division, which is in SmackDown.
Right.
More talent than anything else, I'd have to say. The names are bigger on Raw, but the talent is better on SmackDown.
I agree.
Becky Lynch defeats Natalya. Now, these two are very technical.
Absolutely.
Obviously, Natalya from the Heart Dungeon. And Becky was trained by the guy we both love, the Demon.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully he'll be back soon. He's been doing live shows, so he'll be on air eventually.
You talk about the Demon King himself?
Yes, the Demon King.
Yes, Finn Balor, just in case there's someone out there who doesn't know who the fuck we're talking about.
At the end of the match, Becky hits the disarmer. Natalya taps out. Now, all of a sudden, a girl from the most hated borough in New York makes her appearance with her lovely, severely battered friend. Say the name that you call him by all the time.
Chince McMahon.
Yes, Chince McMahon. And there's no chin music. Carmella comes out and lays both of them out and says that she's entering the Women's SmackDown Championship match at WrestleMania.
Like, that makes any sense whatsoever, especially because Daniel Bryan has previously said that every active diva on the SmackDown women's roster will be included in the match, and you got this dopey fucking bitch from the Forgotten Borough coming out saying, oh, I'm in the match. Bitch, it's not the Royal Rumble.
Again, it just...
Yeah.
Brain-dead blonde broads who have no sense in the matter.
And shit for brains.
So, now as we get to the nitty-gritty of SmackDown, because the next three things have, well, four segments that actually mean something to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Now, I do not have a tasteful like for the wrestling material of John Cena.
Right.
I don't have a particularly top 10 level for The Miz. But the battle of Nikki and John Cena, and I said it, Nikki and John Cena, because it's almost like they're married, they're just not legally married.
Right. Not at all.
Against the married duo of Miz and Maurice. They obviously are married.
Yeah, we all know that.
Cena and Bella come out and badmouth Miz and Maurice, to which Miz and Maurice then come out and smack battle back. It was almost like a rap battle, I would kind of say.
It seemed that way.
To only have Daniel Bryan come out and make a match between the two of them, the two couples, at WrestleMania.
Should be interesting, but we all know the way WWE kisses John Cena's ass and anybody he's associated with. We know they're probably going to wind up winning the match because John Cena's a greedy, hypocritical fuck who doesn't want to put anybody over.
But in a way, now they're revisiting this rivalry from the past.
WrestleMania 27.
To which The Miz won.
Right.
And to honestly tell you, Miz is a better actor than Cena.
Mm-hmm.
I've not seen the new Marine movie yet.
Me neither.
But I will put that in my list of things to watch.
Okay, your to-do list?
Sure. Well, it's the movie to-do list. You know.
Okay.
You know?
That works.
And normally I would have played the Jericho thing, but it's not there yet.
No. We're not feeling it right now.
Next, we go to Mickie James and Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
Now, this was a really weird pairing to begin with.
Yeah, it definitely is.
But now they're fighting each other because, you know, it's now for the SmackDown Women's title.
Yeah.
Mickie James beats Alexa with the Mick kick.
Mm.
Now, you had an interesting question to lay out for the listeners earlier. You want to pass that question along?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Does anybody besides me feel that it's a bit marginally racist that if Becky Lynch would have used something called the Mick kick or have someone else like Mickie James use the Mick kick on Becky Lynch, being that Becky Lynch is Irish? Would anybody find that marginally racist, or is that just me and my weird fucking thoughts?
Oh, I expect the listeners to leave a comment about that.
Yes.
So now we go back to AJ Styles.
My boy.
Who attacks Shane McMahon in the parking lot. And the whole thing finishes with Shane McMahon get thrown through the rear window of a car.
Yeah.
With that fake fucking glass.
That breakaway glass?
The breakaway glass. It looks like a sugar mold that they put there, and they just threw him through it.
Like the same shit that breakaway beer bottles are made out of.
Correct.
That fucking shit. Like, we can't tell, right?
It looked as the gayest shit possible.
Yeah, it definitely did.
There were videos on the net that show a different view of his head going through the window. And in a way that he gets thrown through the window, he miraculously just slices his head open a little bit. Because, you know, if you get thrown through a window, you got a whole bloody mess.
Your whole fucking forehead's jacked if your head goes through.
And you would be bleeding a lot more than what he was.
He looked like he had a scratch on his head from my cat.
The segment then continues. They're all checking on Shane O'Mac. And Daniel Bryan fires AJ Styles.
Yes, he did.
In which, and it burned me to even see this on the internet.
Right.
That 30 seconds after AJ gets fired by Daniel Bryan, they put AJ on the alumni page.
Yeah, that's true. He's not even on the SmackDown roster on WWE.com anymore. It's ridiculous.
But they did it right after he was fired.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. Because it's like, okay, we're doing this. We'll air the segment. We won't even let the show finish. And he switched automatically from roster to alumni. That's it. Premeditated.
Unless, like I mentioned to you earlier, maybe they're doing that in a way for Shane McMahon to give a stipulation to their now upcoming match at WrestleMania of, if you beat me, you'll get your job back. Could be anything.
There's a lot of rumors, but I was just pissed off that they did it so fast. It just didn't make no sense.
You know, it doesn't make any sense at all, but, you know, we'll see what comes out of it after Mania.
At least wait till the show is over. Not
Right?
just immediately do it while the show's on.
Fucking dummies.
Now, here's where I've had a lot of controversial thoughts about this segment.
Uh-oh.
Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
I told everybody, mark my words, this was going to happen. Orton eventually was going to turn on Bray Wyatt.
We all know it.
Now, Orton burned down the compound 2 weeks ago.
That was so cool.
Orton shooting his promo, middle of the ring. Bray Wyatt comes up on the Titantron. And he's over Sister Abigail's grave. And the whole burnt down thing that just looks like it was put behind a black screen.
Yeah.
First off, if you're going to make an effect like that, make it look like a burnt down house or something.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing was fucking wood.
Yeah, do something with him. Make it look authentic. Make it look legit. Just fucking don't make it look the way you made it look.
Then he's over Abigail's burial spot.
Mm-hmm.
To which it's now open because apparently the top burnt away. It looks like a fire pit.
Yeah, it really does.
To my knowledge, after something's been in the ground and it's decayed and everything else, it turns into white ash, not black ash. And Bray Wyatt says he's going to reincarnate or bless himself with Abigail's ashes to make him like a supreme being.
What a sick fuck.
It was very twisted. It was the concept was twisted.
Morbid is the word you're looking for.
Yes. But at the same rate, again, black ash to white ash.
Sick shit.
Unless she was burned within like the last week or so, I don't see it possible.
Well,
but this is, again, we've known special effects as we grew up. So in a way, it looks a little realistic. However, it doesn't.
Yep.
It just makes him, as known now as the Reaper of Souls.
Nice. Kind of ripped off of The Undertaker, but that's okay.
Yeah. But it also left Randy Orton looking like he's shitting his pants.
He always has that face when he's always trying to overcome the odds, and when someone scares him, he's always looking like he's about to drop a nugget.
But now it's the whole metamorphosis thing.
That is
I think that kind of just makes it even more unique.
Absolutely.
The main event match for SmackDown was Usos versus American Alpha.
Okay.
American Alpha is growing on me a little bit.
Are they?
It's the reincarnation of Angle's team back in the day with Benjamin and Haas.
Team Angle.
It's a reincarnation. They're very technically sound.
They are very good. They have a lot of good talent.
I hated the push with Jimmy and Jay Uso a little while ago.
Oh, God.
But the heel turn is good.
Yeah, it's about time. I mean, Usos started getting really fucking stale before they gave him the heel turn.
It's not like the Samoans back in the day, or the Headhunters, back in the day. It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's more like the urban modern version of it.
Absolutely.
But it fits.
It does.
I'll give it to them. It fits. Jimmy and Jay, they did cheat a little bit at the end.
Oh, Paige Guerrero was booked. Rest in peace.
Jimmy and Jay win, but it only sets up the feud for them for WrestleMania,
Nice.
which I'm hoping they do put on a good match. Because
I hope so too.
between the four of them, they have a lot of potential.
What do you think? Pre-card match? I'm sorry, pre-show match?
I'm hoping no.
I really hope not either.
Because like we've said before, WrestleMania is 4 hours.
Yes, it is.
Okay? 4 hours. Unless they decide they're making it earlier than they normally do.
No, 7
Usually
o'clock
say it's
start
like
time.
7 hours of wrestling for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
No title match should be pre-card.
No, absolutely not.
If it's the stage of Immortals or the Ride, as they've been saying it,
Or the thrill ride or
The
some
thrill
shit
ride?
like that.
then you have to put all of your big quality matches on the card.
Absolutely.
If you're going to have a BS match, let that be on the pre-card.
Yeah.
But all of WrestleMania's roster is going to have something happening on the second.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm pretty stoked for WrestleMania.
I'm just hoping that they don't have any bombs in the middle of it.
No.
Like, every match is good. Like I said, title matches have to be there. There's how many titles that have to be defended at WrestleMania?
There's a bunch.
Okay? You have Universal and the World title. It's 2. The 2 sets of tag team titles. That's 4.
Intercontinental United States.
But is the Intercontinental even being defended?
Who's currently holding it now?
Dean Ambrose.
I have not heard anything.
So that would be Ambrose and the Lone Wolf would make 5.
Oh, Baron Corbin.
Yes, Baron Corbin.
That should be on the main card.
U.S. title makes 6. Both women's titles.
That's 8.
That's 8. They all have to be on the main card.
It's not like they
All
can't
have
fit
to
it.
be in the main card. And within 4 hours, they have to load all of that.
Like, I can understand the Andre the Giant Battle Royal being on the pre-show.
We forgot the Cruiserweight title.
That's 9.
9.
So I can understand, like I said, I can understand the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, or whatever the fuck they call it now, being on the pre-show. I can understand that because it's like, okay, it's not a title match. It's something to kill time before the show begins.
In a way, though, if I start WrestleMania, I want Neville and Aries Cruiserweight match for the title.
First match?
First match.
Nice.
I want some action. And I know both of them are phenomenal high flyers. Very technically sound. I think they'll work well. And then you throw in the Battle Royal. and then lead in with the rest. As long as they alternate them properly, you have a perfect mix between the two brands, you're good. If you're going to throw in a bullshit match with, let's say, I don't know, Titus O'Neil, and maybe throw a Big Show match in there, pre-show, you might be okay.
That's fine.
Get some of the jobbers, some prelim shit, and then throw them all into the Battle Royal. Yeah. And then it'll mix perfectly.
Absolutely. Because
nobody's really going to care if the undercard guys, the jobbers, the fucking mid-card guys do a prelim match, and then they come back for the rest, for the memorial.
I mean, especially if they did a good job in their pre-show match, you'd want to see them again.
Yeah, so then that would work.
I mean, I personally am not a fan of the Big Show, but, excuse me, I'm personally not a fan of the Big Show, but if he does well in a pre-show match, I wouldn't mind seeing that big motherfucker again in the Battle Royal on the main card. I wouldn't.
So then maybe WWE should hire me to set up this whole thing.
And maybe you set that up. They'll hire me for maybe a little bit of the creative writing and match booking, what orders to put the matches in, because, when you have the fucking divas, no offense to the women out there, but when you have a divas match after The Undertaker at WrestleMania, what the fuck are you thinking?
Space filler.
Like at, what was it? Which WrestleMania was it? It was right after the Undertaker match. I believe it was 27.
Yeah.
It was after the Undertaker Triple H match that they had the fucking intergender match that Snooki was in.
Oh my God, don't remind me.
Yeah. That fucking little Oompa Loompa Italian wannabe, which on a personal level I can't stand, but that's another story. You have that match after The Undertaker? How in God's name is Snooki and Vicky Guerrero going to follow The Undertaker? I mean, what the fuck are they thinking? Creative writers of WWE, if by some chance if this gets out to you, know your shit and figure out what the fuck it is that you're doing. Okay? Please? Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to end off SmackDown.
That's my rant of the day.
Yes, we always have to have some type of rant in there.
Yes.
Final 5, not even 5 minute segment, like a 2-minute segment.
Sounds good.
The dizzy, concussed Shane McMahon comes out and says, what following line?
Shane McMahon, briskly makes his way out to the top of the ramp and just says, AJ Styles doesn't have an opponent for WrestleMania? He's got one now. And then just walks off. I thought that was pretty badass, honestly. He didn't drag it out. He got to the point and he walked the fuck out.
Well, here's my problem with this. How are you going to wrestle somebody that's not under contract?
Maybe that's just old storyline.
And my other point is this. If you're going to have this match, make it non-sanctioned.
Oh.
Make it a fucking street fight. Make it something like
Epic.
Angle and McMahon when he got fucked going through the breakaway glass.
King of the Ring,
yes.
Somewhere in the early 2000s.
You know what? That's the only thing I can see Shane doing. A regular match will not fit.
No.
He's got to have something. He's done Hell in a Cell, Undertaker. He's had ambulance matches.
Oh, yeah, Kane.
Stretcher matches. Those are the types of things, I hate to say it, he's up there in age.
He can still
do it, though.
But
it's
it's
the best thing he excels at.
He absolutely sells at the crazy shit. I mean, I know this is not involving Shane McMahon, but when you mentioned non-sanction, the first match I thought of was SummerSlam 2002, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. It's the first match I thought of when you mentioned non-sanction.
If he's on the alumni page and he does not under contract, it's got to be a non-sanctioned fight.
Absolutely. There's still a few weeks for them to piece it together, though.
But on that note, since we've gone through the card of SmackDown,
yes,
it is time, once again, for that favorite segment of the show.
It's my favorite and yours, and hopefully all yours out there.
It's the turd of the week.
Turd of the week
SmackDown version.
goes to Dolph Ziggler and Mojo Rawley,
Oh, yes it does.
co-owners of the turd.
Yes.
I'm sorry to say this. Ziggler back in the day is a step down from Shawn Michaels.
Uh-huh.
Same great moveset, same attitude.
Same in-ring, like he's like a ring general.
Yes. However, you have him as a heel who is going against nobodies. And it just so happened that this week it was Mojo Rawley. The match ended on a count out. It's sorry to see the talent get killed off like this.
Watered down, washed up, and just completely thrown away.
He's not even mid-card at this point.
He's like in between jobber and mid-card right now.
That's the way it looks.
Seems that way.
So this week, he has been granted the turd of the week.
SmackDown version.
Yes. You have any final comments about Raw or SmackDown?
SmackDown has finally went up in ranks and now SmackDown is the big brother to Raw, because Raw has been sucking nuts lately. And one thing I could definitely say, because I mentioned this before about whoever it was that I mentioned, but I just the sheer thought of John Cena, I don't even know what to say about him. Just he's really pissing me off, and I'm sorry for a little technical error, but I've been trying to do something and it hasn't been working. So if you notice, that's why I've been stalling for time. So I do apologize. So that's my fucked up final comment.
Well, my final comment is this. Come and go. We've seen, this is our, now what, third week of the special segment?
Yes, this is week 3.
Roman Reigns was the first initial. Ziggler is now on the list.
He's on the SmackDown list, and Gallows and Anderson is on the Raw version.
So, for them, on behalf of Chris Jericho,
You just made the list!
you've all made the turd list. And we leave our listeners on that note. So, Jim, say goodbye.
Go fuck yourself, everybody, with all the love I have.
And we'll all catch you on the flip side.